Brilliance Audio presents Friends Forever, a novel by Danielle Steele, performed by Nick Podell. The admissions process to get into the Atwood School had eaten up 6 months of the previous winter and driven each of the families nearly to distraction with open houses, meet and greets, intense interviews with the parents, sometimes 2 of them, and screenings of each child. Siblings had some preferential advantage, but each child was evaluated on their own merits, whether he or she had a sibling in the school or not. Atwood was one of the few co-ed private schools in San Francisco. Most of the old established schools were single-sex, and it was the only one that went from kindergarten through 12th grade, making it highly desirable for families who didn't want to go through the whole process again for either middle school or high school. The admissions letters had come at the end of March and had been anticipated with the same anxiety as an acceptance to Harvard or Yale. Some of the parents admitted that it was more than a little crazy, but they insisted it was worth it. They said Atwood was a fabulous school which gave each child the individualized attention they needed, carried enormous social status, which they preferred not to acknowledge, and students who applied themselves in the high school usually went on to great colleges, many of them Ivy League. Getting a kid into Atwood was a major coup. There were roughly 650 students. It was well located in Pacific Heights, and the ratio of teacher to students was excellent. And it provided career, college, and psychological support counseling to the students as part of the routine services it offered. When the big day finally came for the new kindergarten class to enter the school, it was one of those rare, hot Indian summer September days in San Francisco, on the Wednesday after Labor Day. It had been over 90 degrees since Sunday, and in the low 80s at night. Such hot weather happened only once or twice a year, and everyone knew that as soon as the fog rolled in, and it would inevitably, the heat would be over, and it would be back to temperatures in the low 60s in the daytime, brisk chilly winds, and the low 50s at night. Usually, Marilyn Norton loved the hot weather, but she was having a tough time with it, 9 months pregnant, with her due date in 2 days. She was expecting her second child, another boy, and he was going to be a big one. She could hardly move in the heat, and her ankles and feet were so swollen that all she had been able to get her feet into were rubber flip-flops.